very hot that day. So I was in a taxi, and a police woman asked me to come down from the taxi. She was like, "Why are you dressed like this?" Can you imagine a policewoman asking me why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed?
Thank you, viewers. Thank you for joining us on Breaking News Wahala. By now, I know you have seen the first interview I did with Hassan. He had introduced himself again. Hassan is here with me, and we're talking about the plight of LGBTQ persons that are happening in Cameroon. And we're talking about the plight of LGBTQ persons that are happening in Cameroon. Hassan is here to give us more insight. Hassan is here to give us more insight on what is going on in Cameroon. He has sent us a copy of videos, pictures, and evidence which are going to be shown on your screen. Pure discretion is advised because the images you're going to be seeing during this conversation and interview are going to be very graphic images. So please, precaution should be taken, and some viewers may not find these images and videos suitable for their viewing. Welcome, Hassan. Please introduce yourself once again to the viewers.
Okay, thank you very much, Henry.
Could you please speak up louder so that we can hear you because there's a background noise where you are?
Okay, so thank you very much, Henry, for this opportunity once more. I am Asa Emil from Cameroon. I'm an activist, an LGBTIQ activist. I am in Algeria. Like I said in my previous interview, I am actually a refugee in Algeria because I'm fleeing persecution from Cameroon, which actually led me to flee. And then I went to Nigeria, got the refugee status there, and then the persecution continued in Nigeria since Nigeria is also very
So
homophobic and has
you are from Cameroon and you went to Nigeria, right? That's what you
yes,
said.
yes,
So
yes,
could
of
you give us
course.
a briefing? What happened? Why did you have to leave Cameroon to go to Nigeria?
Okay, so I had to leave Cameroon because, as an LGBT person and because of the laws against LGBTIQ people in Cameroon, you know, in Cameroon,
Could you do one thing for me? You see this place,
okay,
use this one of your mic, the earpiece that has the mic. Could you hold it so we could hear you better?
okay.
Could you
Can you hear
remove
me
it from
now?
your ear and use one ear to hear and then one ear to
So can
hold?
you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, go on.
Okay, so I had to leave Cameroon because of the laws in Cameroon states that if you are caught as an LGBT or as a gay man, you'll be imprisoned for a period of 5 years, and then you pay a fine of 200,000 CFA, which is equivalent to $300. And then, but that is not what it is in Cameroon. In Cameroon, at just a met side of you by an individual or maybe the military or civilians or maybe persons from the community. Maybe, for example, there are some LGBT people who are very feminine, and even their way of dressing, you can actually identify that this one is, you know, belongs to the LGBT community or have a link, and then you are persecuted for just that reason. It's no longer because the law states that if you are caught in the act. Now in Cameroon, it's not like that. Just somebody can just look at you because of the way you're dressed. For example, a lot of LGBT, like for myself, I myself, I like to put on my leg chain, my ankle chain and stuff like that. My dressing, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you do your things. These things are, you cannot avoid them. They are inborn. You are born with them. These characteristics you cannot, no matter how you try. At times you try to act like a man, but it just doesn't work because this is not you. You understand? And so you are being persecuted because of these reasons. And even if, for example, if a military man sees you on the street, acting like that or having these characteristics, and they will persecute you. And because maybe some other persons have been seeing you and they have this thing in their mind, when they come to the scene, they'll be like, oh, yes, this guy payday. For example, like in French, they call the gay people in Cameroon payday. Yeah, this guy
Payday.
na payday, na payday, na payday. Yes, I know this boy since we like, in the pidgin language. I know him. Now payday. Now so they always behave. They'll be like putting their mouth in it and they'll make the whole scenario very big. and you'll be tortured for no reason, and there's nowhere you can go to. You cannot go to the police station or maybe the gendarmerie to complain, because you yourself, you know very well that you're gay, and your moment or the look at that, your appearance at that time speaks that you're gay, you know. So going to the police station is meaningless, because you can end up going there and you'll be thrown in cell, you know. Even the police, they'll have the way they'll relay with you, they'll mock you and stuff like that. There is this time when I was actually going for an event. I left my home, I was going for an event, so I was in the taxi. Because of the way I was dressed, I was actually asked to come down from the taxi. Like, there is a checkpoint, because I live in Limbe. For those who know, I live in Limbe, my four. So I was actually going to Half Mile. There was an event there in a snack. So I was dressed with my shorts and my chain on my leg, and I was very hot that day. So I was in a taxi, and a police woman asked me to come down from the taxi. You know, she was like, "Why are you dressed like this?" Can you imagine a policewoman asking me why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed? I think that's way by, like, that's crossed human rights, you know, because I have the right to dress how I want to dress. I have every right to feel free because I'm in my country, you know. And then she asked me to sit on the floor. It was a white party. I was putting on a white shirt, a white t-shirt, you know, everything was on me was white. She asked me to sit on the bare floor. I sat down there for 5 hours. Like, it was terrible. And she was making mockery of me with the other police people, like they were speaking in French, because me, I'm English Cameroon. And most times the gendarmes and the police people that are working in Cameroon, most of them speak French, because Cameroon is more of like the French is dominating. So if you are into any government kind of office in Cameroon, then you speak in French
Yeah.
as a first language. Eh, il est gay, c'est un PD, comme voir comme il est porté le matelot, il est porté, you know, like she was speaking in French, like, I'm gay, look at what I'm wearing chain on my leg, you know, look at my hair, I plaited, I'm gay, you know, we are the people who fuck with men, sorry, I'm using this vocal,
Go
you
on.
know.
Go on. Feel free. Express yourself.
So she was like, okay. And then I was like, what's this? I sat there for 5 hours. And then all of it later, they had to ask me to bail myself. Like, I was not in cell. It was a checkpoint. And they asked me to bail myself before I could leave before I could leave the checkpoint. Actually, it's not funny, but I have to laugh. I swear.
Darling, we know how it is being gay in Africa. And the small humors we have to laugh. We just have to laugh and live life. But carry on.
So, and then I had to bail myself. And then the what actually I really want to make clear here, I really want the world to understand, is like, okay, this is it now. Like, everybody knows that there is an armed conflict going on in Cameroon right now, the Ambazonian conflict, like the French Cameroon and the English Cameroon. You know, like the English Cameroon wants to split from the French Cameroon, like they want to have an independence on their own, you know, and call their nation Ambazonia.
We are not going to go into the political side of Cameroon because if we go into politics, it's going to make our conversation a very lengthy and broad one. But I want to ask you one question. So, with knowing all those facts about Cameroon and how LGBTQ persons are treated in Cameroon, how did you manage to survive while you were in Cameroon?
That's a very tough. It was tough. The experience, me being, you know, me surviving in Cameroon.
What was the worst
You
thing
know,
that
I
happened?
really
What was the
like,
worst thing
it's
that
something I
happened to
really like
you?
to share.
Sorry, what was the worst thing that happened to you in Cameroon that you had to say, I have had enough, I need to leave, my life is in danger?
Okay, this is it. Um, I was actually dating a guy, and then the guy it's unfortunate that the brother is into the military. So the brother found out that I was actually in a relationship with his brother. and stuff like that. This guy is old, he's 26, he's not a kid. And then the brother is like, I am the one who is engineering his brother to be gay.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 13.
13? 30?
30, 30.
30.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So this guy was like, I'm the one who is engineering his brother to be gay because he found out that I work with an LGBT organization. And his brother was also part of that LGBT organization because at that time he was working with us as a peer educator, you know. So he actually started this whole drama with me because of the armed conflict. I'm sorry, I'm going back there, but I will not really like talk about it like that. But because of the armed conflict, now the military people in Cameroon, they put on this face mask, they mask themselves. You will not even know who is who, you know, just because of the issue that's going on in Cameroon. So you walk past a military man, maybe it's somebody you know, but at that point you will not be able to recognize him because he has masked himself very well like that. So the reason that actually made me to flee Cameroon was because he got me, he explained the situation to most of his military colleagues about what is going on between me and his brother, and he told them like I was the one making his brother to be who his brother was at that time. I was the one engineering his brother to be gay and stuff like that. So I had an encounter with like four different military men on the street beating me up, asking me, for example, there was a day I left my home, I was going to Half Mile, and then when I got to Half Mile, I alighted the taxi, and I was just walking like I took like 10 steps. I saw a military man calling me with the mask on his face. I didn't even recognize, I didn't even know who he was, but just because he was wearing a military uniform, like, I had to obey and go towards him. He was like, I should sit on the floor. He didn't tell me why he was asking me to sit on the floor, but you cannot resist. I just did what he asked. I sat on the floor, and he was speaking in pidgin. I quote, now you now una be paid them for this town una the fuck with different man picking them today you go here for my hand, you go see something. I know you fine, I know you. It was like that was when I knew like, okay, this is trouble, because he was like speaking, he was telling me like, oh, it's you, the gay people in the town that sleeps with men. Thank God you are into my hands today, and today I'm going to show you, you're going to learn a lesson from me today, that I should sit on the floor. I sat there. He was walking. I don't know what he was actually doing, but he was just standing there controlling. He was paroling, and I just sat there. I sat there for like 2 hours. He wasn't saying anything. He wasn't doing anything. And then after, like, it was like 6 p.m. in the evening when their car came to carry them from, their car was picking them from their different stations. And then he asked me to enter the car. They took me to their station in the Manawobe. They call their station Manawobe. He took me to their station Manawobe. He didn't beat me. That was one thing he didn't do. He didn't touch me, but he humiliated me. So when I went to their station, because where their station is very far from the town, and it's very difficult to see a taxi coming back to town. So they left me because they could not enter with me into their camp. They dropped me in front of their gate. So I had to trek with my leg. I had to trek from their camp back to the city. And it's not easy. It's like, I don't know. Because I left there like 7 and I got back into the city like 1 p.m. Can you imagine the distance? I trekked. He was just like it was just kind of like a punishment. This is some kind of hatred for LGBT persons for no reasons. You know, I had to trek back from their station to the city. And most like this happened like in different occasions where military men will call me on the road, some will actually like torture me. And then that was when I realized that this is getting very serious. Like, okay, Janvier, because that's his name. Janvier has actually like introduced me to his friends, his military colleague, like, oh, maybe he has shown my picture to them, or he has spoken about me to them, like this guy is gay and he's dating my brother, blah, blah, blah. I want us to teach him a lesson, blah, blah, blah. So whenever I see a military man on mask, I run. Maybe the military man does not even know me, maybe he doesn't even have an idea about me, but just the fact that he's a military man and he's on mask, I'll be very scared. I'll have to change my route, I'll have to change my direction where I was going to. I was just scared. just making my life very miserable, very uncomfortable. Like if I see a military uniform, I'm already, I'm depressed because I don't know what that person may do to me at that point. Even if the person does not know me, I will not know, because I already have it at the back of my mind that military men have been doing this to me. Like 4 different military men have done this to me on different occasions. So each time I see a military man, I have to run away. I have, even if I'm working with my friends and we sight military people, I'll have to take a different direction because I don't know. Maybe they will just call me. One will just call me because you understand. You don't know them, you don't see them, but they know you because they're masked. So at this point, I was like, oh, it's serious. And then the one thing that actually made me to flee Cameroon was because on the 21st of July 2022, which was my birthday, I went to a snack with my friends to have my birthday there in a snack called Magazine. After my birthday, it was like 4 p.m. So we were actually going, when we left the snack, we were actually going to another place because, like, okay, we've had enough here, let's go to another place. So we left there, we were 4 of us with some of my friends. We were more than four, but at that time, like that 4 p.m., we just left, I was left with 4 friends. 3 friends and myself, four, because other had left. Most of the people I invited had left. So we're just four. I'm like, okay, let's leave here and go to a place because that the snack was more like a cabaret. So we wanted to go to a place where we could dance. So as we were walking down to the other place, that was how these 3 men, attacked us, and one of which is a military guy. You know, they attacked us and they were like, they saw us in the club, our movement and everything. They knew we were gay. You know, they started beating us for no reasons. They started beating us. They collected everything from us. They collected my phone. They collected my jewelries, everything. I was wearing a very clean jacket I bought for my birthday. They took it. They took my cap I was wearing. They took everything. Like I was having an iPhone at that time, 11 Pro Max. They took it. They took everything from myself and my friends. Then they gave us, they tortured us very well, right
Is
up to a
is
point where I
that
had to
is
be
that is that
hospitalized.
the video that we I saw them using a stone to hit the person in the video? I'm so sorry that we're
No,
diverting.
that's not the video. That video you saw, they're using a stone hitting. It's a friend of mine. Actually, that one is a friend of mine. So he told me he was going to Douala to meet a guy he met online.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we were very happy. Okay, go and meet him. He has been talking with this guy and everything. So he decided to go that day to see this guy, not knowing that it was a plan, it was a plot. Like when he went there, the guy took him, like, oh, pick him from the bus station, carried him. He was like, okay, they entered a taxi. He was like, he thought they were actually going to the guy's house. But then again, the guy now took him to an uncompleted building where his friends were already there and started beating him, asking for ransom. Like they sent the video to all of his friends, like we should pay ransom before they will release him. If not, they are going to kill him. So at the end of the day, we actually picked like 800,000 safer. That should be like 930 something thousand naira. We paid, we contributed. Friends, the parents, and every other person that got the video who could actually like chip in something. That was how we contributed money and paid before they could release him. We sent through a mobile money. That till date they never actually like traced who has that mobile money. That's actually what the LGBT people go through in Cameroon. Like you can actually be chatting with someone online, not knowing that this person is not gay, and when you go there, they will attack you like that. I have a lot of friends who have died like that. There is this friend who died, Kelvin. He went to see a friend like that. Same in I think that was in Douala, and they had to use like they did that to me too. They did that to me too. They had to use bottle to use bottle to penetrate him with. Like these guys, they were not actually LGBT, but they belong to an LGBT group online. That's their job. When they get you, they they deal with you. Came into my office like on the 23rd. That was yesterday. I'm beaten. I went to the hospital, and then on the 23rd, I think like about 11 p.m. I left the hospital. There in the hospital, it was not even easy because I had a lot of stigma, a lot of hate speech from the people in the world who knew exactly why I was in the hospital. You know, they were throwing some kind of slances at me and stuff like that. So I had to heavily leave the hospital because I could not just hear what they were saying.
So,
You know,
sorry, before we move on, did Kelvin die that day, or did he die from his wounds sustained from the attack?
actually, he died from the wounds sustained from the attack because he came back. He didn't tell anyone. You know, he was like, okay. He was actually like he didn't tell people. Like his family knew that this was what was going on with him there, but then again he didn't tell them what actually he was going through, the pain he was going through. It was when he was like very serious, when it has gotten to a crucial stage. That was when he like told them like, this is what these people did to me, and this is the effect I am having. Had even he had told his family immediately when they released him, maybe they would have rushed him to the hospital to check, but he was hiding it. That was a mistake Kevin made. He was hiding it. So it was like after like Kevin, after like 2 weeks, like 2 3 weeks, he died. What he did, the mistake he did was he mentioned it to a pastor, because after that incident, when he came back, the mother took him to a church in a nearby town from Limbe, Mutengene. The mom took him to that church. So the pastor prayed with him and like, oh, it's a spirit that is disturbing him. They will have to cast the spirit, blah blah blah. This church thing, this conventional therapy stuff and all the rest. He was just obeying his mother at that point, but he didn't actually tell the mom what was actually wrong with him. It was like after 2 3 weeks, then he was actually like having this smell. He started, he started rotting. He rotting from the inside. I don't understand. I don't know how to explain it. That was how Kevin died. That was how Kevin died.
I'm going to stop the interview here because I'm literally crying on camera. This is sorry. I didn't expect it to be this deep. This is the
I have cried enough. I don't think now. Before now, I cannot even say, like, I cannot even be. I wasn't even be. I wasn't even able to like talk like two steps or two lines. But now I think I have the courage because I've cried enough. I've cried enough. If you expect me to cry, I've cried enough. I will not lie to you. I've cried enough. I've seen everything. I've seen a lot. I've seen everything. I'm presently in Algeria, like I told you, fleeing persecution and everything. I am in Algeria and I've been to the UNHCR to ask for asylum. They have given me the A4 paper, the asylum seeking paper, but they have not given me the asylum. Presently, where I am, when I was relocated to Benin Republic after I was raped with the wooden fallows used for demonstration during HIV, we have these wooden fallows, these wooden pennies we use for demonstration during HIV. These guys came into my office and raped me with that. When they saw it on my desk, they was like, "Oh, so na this one that they do for years. So they will not get when you get canas one that they use them. That's in the pidgin language from Cameroon. I quote. So they actually took that wooden fallows, and it was actually a very big one. They raped me with it. And this is like, I have every evidence about this because I went when I was relocated to Benin Republic. I was treated because of that rape. Right presently, right now, because when my relocation got finished in Benin Republic, they had not done with my treatment. Where I am seated right now making this interview, I am in deep pain. I still have the issue going on. Even here in Nigeria, I have been to, because I'm in Oran. I went to
um,
Algiers the
let's
other day
let's
for
try to keep, for security reason, let's keep where you are private, or carry on.
you know,
Just say
I've
Algeria, but
actually
don't say your location, okay?
I've actually been to the hospital to check on my anus and everything because right now I am in deep pain. I am in deep pain because the treatment they gave me in Benin Republic wasn't complete. I think I have to undergo an operation. But the organization that relocated me to Benin Republic, I guess, for one reason or another, they could not actually carry on the operation because of the time that was left. They could not
And
carry out
and
an
and
operation.
you still need to undergo this operation right?
Yes, of course, of course. Because I have this my annuals. There is just I don't know how to explain it. There is just the complication is just too much. The complication is just too much.
Anyways,
Like
let
in
me
a
let
day,
me
I'll
let
have
me
to change
let me
like
cut you
five.
here because we are running out of time and it's gonna be long. We can't finish this whole interview in a day. I wish we can, but viewers, when we talk about activism, this is the reason why I dedicate and we dedicate our time to events and to our community. I don't want to say much. You've heard it with your own ears. You've seen people speak out. Please, a GoFundMe will be set. A GoFundMe will be set under Talk as an emergency GoFundMe to really help victims of keto crisis recover, heal from what homophobes are doing. Um, I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't know what to say, but please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Our phone numbers are there, our emails are there. Reach out to us. The people who truly need your help are crying. This is a cry for help. I've never been this angry. I've never been this sad. I've never been this upset. But we've had enough. We've had enough of this homophobe doing these criminal acts. We are tired of just people talking. It's time for action, and action begins now. I remain your host, Chimerize Henry, and we have been with Asan. We're going to have um, a continuous another episode again. So make sure you subscribe. More interviews with Asan will be coming up. Please watch out for the next interview. I'll just call it EP2 or EP3 will be out again with Asan. We're going to have more conversation to see how the progress of all of these is going. And thank you. Stay tuned. I remain Chimerize Henry, and this has been Breaking News. Wahala.